Hello and welcome to video lesson topic 10.1. It's the only one that we're doing with this assignment. It is areas of parallelograms and triangles. Your learning objective is I am learning to find the area of parallelograms, we'll abbreviate here, and triangles. We're going to go through three formulas. We got rectangle, parallelogram, and triangle. We're including rectangle because it is indeed a parallelogram because it has two pairs of parallel sides. The formula for a rectangle's area is base times height, or you may have heard the length times width. Those are the same thing. Parallelogram is the same, base times height. And then a triangle, if you think about it, if we were to take this rectangle, which is base times height, and we cut it in half, you have two triangles. So that gives us the formula 1/2 base times height. Example 1, part A, and we will be adding one more example today, so be careful to not click out of the video early. To find the area of the parallelogram, we're going to use the formula base times height. Now the base in this case is 5. And the height is 4. 4.5 is not the height of this parallelogram. In fact, what it is, and this will have to do with the last example that we do, is if we turn this paper sideways, 4.5 is actually this base that corresponds to this vertical height. So I don't want to confuse you, so we're going to put that off for just a minute. We'll say a base of 5 and a height of 4, which gives us an area of 20 inches squared. We're going to repeat that process for part B. So part B, base of 2, height of 3.5. This is a parallelogram, so we'll do B times H, 2 times 3.5, giving us an area of 7 centimeters squared. Now the reason I'm doing to the second power for the units is area is two-dimensional, right? You got a base and you got a height. Example 2, find the area of the triangle. This formula is 1/2 base times height. It's a horizontal base, a vertical height. The base is 10. You can ignore the 4 there. Right? We don't need that 4 feet. The height is 6.4. So we'll do 1/2 times 10 times 6.4. That will give us an area of 32 feet squared. Again, square units here because it's two-dimensional. Example 3. Remember, we're going to do one more example after this one. Example 3 says find the area. What we'll have to do is add the area of this rectangle to the area of this triangle. So the rectangle would be 20 times 12, giving us 240 feet squared. The triangle, its base is this entire horizontal distance here. Since this is a rectangle, we can move the 20 feet up here. Opposite sides are congruent. 1/2, that's for the triangle, 1/2 times 20 times the height of 6. Base of 20, height of 6. That gives us the area of the triangle being 300 feet squared, or excuse me, 60. Sorry, 300 is the final answer. 60 feet squared. So when we add those, we will get 300 feet squared. I'm going to add an example 9, if you will. We're going to skip everything else until the next day's assignment. And I'm going to say, what if I had this example. What if I had a parallelogram and I said find H? Let's say for instance we had this parallelogram and let's say it has a base of 14 and a height of 8. Now once you have that, let's say that I said this slant height is 10. Figure out what this would be. And you're like, what is that? Why are you even putting this here and putting this H here? Okay, well the reason why is if I wanted to find the area of this parallelogram, I do base of 14 and a height of 8. And 14 times 8 gives me 112 as the area unit squared. Well, I don't want the area though. I want what is the H here. Well, that H corresponds with, if 10 is my base, what's the height? So what you do is do 10 times H, base of 10, height of 12, or not height of 12, but height of H. We know that the total area was 112. B times H gives me 112. We already had that 112. So then to solve for H, you just divide by 10 and you would get 11.2. If you have any questions, you can comment them on this. Also, you can just reply to the assignment on Google Classroom, or you can shoot me an email at jeremiah.stringer@pulaski.kyschools.us. A number of different ways to reach me.